Okay, so have you ever, really tried to imagine what it would be like to see the world through the eyes of a dinosaur?
Like Jurassic Park style.
Kind of, yeah. But, maybe a bit more realistic. I mean, think about it. What was it actually like to be one of these massive creatures roaming the Earth millions of years ago?
It's a question that's fascinated paleontologists for, well, ever since we first started digging up dinosaur bones. And today we're diving into a site that offers some really incredible clues.
This isn't just about some random bones we dug up, though.
No, not at all. This deep dive, we're looking at something called the Cal Orck'o dinosaur track site. It's in Bolivia, and let me tell you, it's seriously impressive.
From what I've read, it's not your typical fossil site, right?
Not even close. Instead of bones, we're talking footprints. Thousands of them.
Wait, hold on. So no bones, just footprints.
Yep. And get this. It's not a field of footprints either, like you might imagine. Picture this. A giant wall of limestone stretching for over 1 kilometer, absolutely covered in dinosaur tracks.
Wait, what? A wall?
I know, right? Totally wild. It's this huge vertical wall of rock, almost 100 meters high, and it's just plastered with dinosaur footprints.
I mean, how does something like that even happen?
So rewind the clock about 68 million years. We're in the Late Cretaceous period. Back then, this wall was actually a flat lakeshore, a pretty happening spot for dinosaurs, it turns out.
A lakeshore. Makes sense. Perfect for leaving footprints in soft mud.
Exactly. So all these dinosaurs are strolling around, maybe stopping for a drink at the lake, leaving their tracks all over the place. Over millions of years, that soft mud hardens into rock, and then... Don't leave me hanging. And then tectonic forces, the stuff that makes mountains and earthquakes, well, they slowly tilted that whole lakeshore up.
Wait, so the ground literally got pushed up into a vertical wall?
Exactly. And all those dinosaur footprints, perfectly preserved in the rock, went along for the ride.
That is absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, I can picture this massive wall covered in footprints, but what kind of dinosaurs are we actually talking about here? Is it like a dinosaur reunion?
Oh yeah, it's a real prehistoric party. And like any good party, you've got your A-list celebrities.
Let me guess. T-Rex had to be there, right?
Of course. No dinosaur gathering is complete without the king or queen of the tyrant lizards.
So T-Rex was stomping around this lake shore. What else was there?
Well, picture this. You're walking along the lake. You might spot a group of theropods, fast-moving, two-legged dinosaurs, many of them hunters. Think velociraptors, but maybe a bit bigger.
Okay, so we've got the scary predators covered. What about the herbivores? The gentle giants.
Oh, they're there too. Imagine looking up and seeing a herd of sauropods, those enormous long-necked dinosaurs lumbering along like prehistoric giraffes.
I remember seeing a sauropod skeleton in a museum once. Those things were absolutely massive. I can only imagine what their footprints must look like.
Oh, they're huge. Some of these footprints are so deep, they actually deformed the ground beneath them. Picture a sauropod putting all its weight down on one foot.
It's like stepping on a giant, muddy, memory foam mattress. That's pretty wild. But hold on, I thought scientists mostly studied dinosaur bones to figure out, how they moved and stuff. Can you really learn that much from just footprints?
Absolutely. You'd be surprised how much information you can squeeze out of a well-preserved footprint. I mean, think about it.
All right, convince me.
You've got the overall shape of the foot, which tells you the type of dinosaur, right? But then you get into the finer details, the spacing between the toes, the depth of the impression, any claw marks.
Okay, I'm starting to see how that could be useful.
All those little details can tell us a lot about how the dinosaur was moving, how fast it was going, if it was walking or running, maybe even if it was carrying something heavy.
So it's like a detective story, piecing together clues from the crime scene.
Exactly. And sometimes those clues can reveal some pretty amazing things. There's this one trackway at Cal Orck'o, a series of footprints from the same animal, and it shows a group of smaller theropods.
Theropods, like the velociraptor cousins.
Yep, those guys. So these theropod footprints seem to be flanking the footprints of a much larger sauropod. And the way they're positioned, well, it suggests they might have been hunting the sauropod.
No way. We're talking about a dinosaur hunt preserved in footprints.
That's what the evidence points to. It's incredibly rare to find something like that.
It's like a scene straight out of Jurassic Park. You can almost hear the dinosaurs roaring. But haven't we found dinosaur footprints in other places too? What makes this site in Bolivia so special?
You're absolutely right. Dinosaur footprints aren't unique to Cal Orck'o, but what sets this site apart is the sheer number and variety of footprints all crammed into this one location. I mean, we're talking over 5,000 footprints identified so far.
Whoa, 5,000 footprints. That's like a dinosaur metropolis.
And not just one type of dinosaur either. The diversity is incredible. It's like a snapshot of a whole ecosystem frozen in time. You've got your T-Rex, your theropods, your sauropods.
It's like a prehistoric census record.
It really is. And by looking at which species were present, how their footprints overlap and interact, scientists can start to understand how all these creatures live together, how they interacted with their environment and, of course, with each other.
It's amazing to me that we can learn so much from something as simple as a footprint. It's like those tracks are whispering stories from millions of years ago.
They really are. And it makes you wonder, what if these footprints could actually talk? What stories would they tell us about life in the Late Cretaceous?
That's a pretty awesome thought to leave us with. And I gotta say, listening to you describe this dinosaur dance floor has got me seriously wanting to see it for myself.
Oh, you should. Photos just don't do it justice. The scale of that wall. It's truly awe-inspiring.
Well, for all our listeners out there, if you're looking for a new addition to your travel bucket list, I think we found it. Do yourself a favor and search for some images of Cal Orck'o online. You won't be disappointed. And who knows, maybe one day you'll even get the chance to walk among those ancient footprints yourself.